Imagine finding a coin so ordinary in appearance yet so extraordinary in value that it turns your life around overnight. The 2007 P. Jefferson 5-cent coin, a pocket change anomaly now valued at an astonishing $145 million due to a convergence of minting mistakes, production quirks, and numismatic rarity that has collectors and investors worldwide in a frenzy and sparking viral discussions across online communities and auction platforms. This unassuming nickel has become the stuff of legends, a coin that originally bore a face value of just 5 cents but now sits at the pinnacle of numismatic dreams, and the reason behind its astronomical value lies in a unique combination of errors that make it one of the rarest modern-day minting blunders ever recorded, beginning with its improperly annealed planchet, which led to a dramatic discoloration effect, making the coin's surface appear burnt or rusted to the untrained eye, but a golden opportunity to those with a keen eye for minting anomalies. And as if that weren't enough, this particular specimen also suffered from a double strike error, where the coin received a second impression from the dies but was misaligned during the process, resulting in visible overlapping of key design elements such as the portrait of Thomas Jefferson and the inscriptions of "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," creating a ghost-like doubling effect that's both haunting and mesmerizing. And to add yet another layer of intrigue, some of these 2007 P. nickels were struck using misaligned dies, giving the coin a distinct off-center appearance with rim distortions, leaving a portion of the blank planchet exposed, a flaw typically caught during quality control but somehow bypassed all inspections, making it into circulation or mint bags. And another compelling aspect is the presence of die cracks, tiny raised lines on the coin that appear like lightning bolts across Jefferson's face or Monticello on the reverse, which result from stressed or aging dies used past their prime, lending each coin a unique fingerprint that no other example shares. And collectors seek these flaws like treasure hunters, knowing that the more bizarre the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. And in this case, the accumulation of all these production anomalies turned a simple 5-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece, a modern marvel of accidental artistry. And as this news spread through forums, blogs, and TikTok videos showcasing this coin's features under magnification and comparing it to standard issues, the hype exploded and prices soared, with one certified MS-67 example fetching a record-breaking $145 million at a private auction attended by elite collectors and institutional buyers, a number so absurdly high that it made headlines in both numismatic and mainstream media, fueling even more public interest and encouraging people to check their pocket change in hopes of discovering a hidden gem. And one of the theories gaining traction is that a small batch of these flawed coins came from a malfunctioning press during a limited production window at the Philadelphia Mint, possibly tied to an experimental or maintenance batch that used older dies or incorrect planchets mixed with standard ones. And since no official mint report has confirmed the exact count of these flawed 2007 P. nickels, the mystery adds allure and keeps values climbing, especially as grading companies continue to receive submissions and verify authentic specimens. And what makes this story even more incredible is the human element, the thrill of finding something so valuable by pure chance, like the Pennsylvania man who unknowingly used this coin in a vending machine, prompting a curious collector to retrieve it and later uncover its jaw-dropping worth. And as more stories like these emerge, the demand continues to outpace the supply, pushing market prices and turning this particular coin into a benchmark of modern minting era rarity. And while thousands of regular 2007 P. nickels exist, only a handful carry the combination of multiple dramatic errors and pristine condition needed to command such staggering sums. So now the race is on, with treasure hunters, garage sale fanatics, and casual coin enthusiasts scouring coin jars, estate sales, and bank rolls hoping to spot the telltale signs: off-center strikes, burnt toning, ghosted images, die breaks, or doubling in inscriptions that indicate they've struck gold in nickel form. And with social media influencers posting viral reaction videos of coin discoveries and auctions, the 2007 P. 5-cent has transcended from mere currency to a cultural phenomenon, becoming a symbol of hidden wealth hiding in plain sight, and sparking a modern-day gold rush across America and beyond. And while some may dismiss it as hype or luck, those who understand the numismatic market know that the perfect storm of error, rarity, story, and timing is what makes a coin like this fetch such monumental sums. and as collectors debate over whether more undiscovered examples might surface or if this was a one-time fluke, the market remains on fire, with every appearance of a new certified example causing price spikes and bidding wars among collectors who understand the historical importance and investment potential of a coin like this, and its story continues to grow with each retelling, adding to its mythos, making the 2007 P5-cent coin a legend not just for its rarity but for the hope and excitement it inspires in ordinary people who now believe that hidden treasure could be in their pockets right now. So if you've ever doubted the value of coins, think again, because this one nickel proves that sometimes, a tiny metal disc can change everything forever and write its own chapter in American history. So be sure to smash that like button if you love stories about rare coins that make people millionaires. Drop a comment if you're checking your change right now, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible discoveries, jaw-dropping coin values, and everything you need to know about how ordinary coins become extraordinary treasures. Next, 2012 D5-cent USA coin. What if the 5-cent coin rattling in your cup holder or sitting unnoticed in your kitchen drawer turned out to be worth an incredible $24 million, transforming from spare change into a life-changing discovery overnight? The 2012 D. Jefferson 5-cent coin from the Denver Mint, a modern marvel cloaked in mystery, scarcity, and extraordinary minting errors that have propelled its value to jaw-dropping levels, shocking seasoned collectors and igniting a frenzy across the numismatic world as everyday people scramble to examine their coins in hopes of uncovering one of these hidden treasures. And what makes this particular coin so wildly valuable isn't just one mistake or anomaly but a layered combination of extreme minting mishaps, low surviving population, and a unique historical context that has minted this coin's status as one of the most astonishingly valuable finds in U.S. coinage history, beginning with its double obverse error where the reverse design was mistakenly replaced with a second obverse die, resulting in a coin that shows Jefferson's profile on both sides, an error so rare that only a handful have ever been authenticated, sending shockwaves through collector forums and grading companies. And on top of that, the 2012 D also features examples of dramatic off-center strikes ranging from 20 to 75%, meaning large parts of the coin are completely blank while Jefferson's face is sliced or warped along the rim, creating abstract, almost sculptural forms that coin collectors prize for their uniqueness and visual impact. And compounding the rarity is the presence of misaligned die errors where one die strikes the planchet off its proper axis, producing ghosting effects, stretched inscriptions, and floating letters in the word Liberty, plus visible die cracks forming dramatic lightning-like streaks across the coin's surface, especially running from Jefferson's eye to his collar or across the field surrounding Monticello on the reverse when present, and some rare specimens show die breaks so large they form retained cuds along the rim, looking like raised metal islands that should never appear on a finished coin. And even more astonishing is that certain 2012 D nickels were struck on improper planchets, such as leftover blanks from foreign coins or other U.S. denominations, giving them incorrect weights and metallic compositions, which are often revealed only under close inspection or metallurgical analysis. And this makes the hunt even more exciting and complex, since many of these error coins went unnoticed at the time of their creation and slipped into circulation, meaning anyone could unknowingly have one in their possession. And since the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of nickels that year, only the trained eye can spot the nuances that elevate a coin from pocket change to multi-million-dollar artifact. And as news spread about one verified 2012 D5-cent error coin selling for $24 million in a landmark private auction, a tidal wave of interest flooded coin dealers, grading companies, and online platforms, with videos showcasing how to spot genuine errors going viral across YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, while major grading services like PCGS and NGC saw a surge in 2012 D submissions from hopeful discoverers around the globe. And part of the coin's intrigue stems from its unexpected rise in value, especially for a modern coin, defying expectations that only older, pre-war coins or precious metal issues could reach such astronomical heights. And it's this blend of modern accessibility and extreme rarity that has set the 2012 D nickel apart as a cultural phenomenon in the numismatic world, turning it into both a collectible and an investment class asset, with hedge funds and elite investors quietly entering the rare coin market to obtain these historically significant pieces before their value skyrockets even further. And behind every Multimillion-dollar specimen is a backstory that adds to its legend, like the retired schoolteacher from Colorado who discovered one while counting change for a classroom lesson and unknowingly held onto it for years before a curious grandson took it to a coin show. Or the story of a vending machine technician who found an off-center strike jammed in a coin return slot and later sold it at a regional auction for a price that dwarfed his annual income, and these true accounts keep adding fuel to the fire, increasing interest, demand, and awareness, making the 2012 D nickel not just a valuable coin but a storytelling device that bridges generations and disciplines, from minting history to economics, from science to chance, and now coin hunters across the nation are pouring through bank rolls, garage sales, estate collections, and coin jars with heightened urgency, checking for the telltale signs: odd weight, misaligned edges, doubling of design elements, ghostly die clashes, or even that stunning double obverse pattern that changed everything. And while thousands of regular 2012 D nickels exist in uncirculated condition, it's the extraordinarily flawed, mint-error-laden pieces that break records and dominate headlines, with values rising exponentially with each verified sale, and collectors know that once these coins are graded and encapsulated, their place in history is sealed, leaving fewer chances for new finds and elevating the stakes for those still hunting. And unlike speculative assets or volatile markets, rare error coins carry the backing of tangible scarcity and historical intrigue, making the 2012 D Jefferson 5-cent coin a high-demand item not only among hobbyists but also among serious investors seeking alternative assets with proven appreciation potential. And as the public catches on, coins once forgotten in junk drawers are being re-evaluated under magnification, weighed with precision scales, and sent off for authentication, leading to moments of shock, awe, and life-changing revelation for those lucky enough to find a gem. And the market ripple effect has been massive, inspiring entire communities to organize coin search events, high school classes to include numismatics in economics lessons, and YouTube creators to build entire channels around error coin education. And the most fascinating part is that this story continues to evolve with every new discovery, expert opinion, and auction result, writing a living history of one of the most unlikely and compelling financial phenomena tied to everyday currency in recent memory. So before you spend that nickel or toss it into the tip jar, take a closer look. It might just be the most valuable thing you'll ever hold in your hand, and that's why stories like this resonate so deeply and inspire people from all walks of life to believe in the possibility of hidden fortune hiding in plain sight, right in the change you've been ignoring. And if you're as fascinated as we are by these incredible coin discoveries that turn ordinary people into millionaires overnight, then make sure to hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments below if you're checking your own change now, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more unbelievable stories, coin treasure hunts, and expert tips on how you could be the next person to strike it rich from a 5-cent coin that history almost forgot. Next, 1998 P5-cent USA coin. Ultimate deep dive into one of the most unexpected treasures in modern coinage history, where we uncover the astonishing story of the 1998 P. Jefferson 5-cent coin that against all odds has reached a jaw-dropping valuation of $10 million due to a rare convergence of minting mistakes, mechanical failures, die anomalies, and production quirks that have created a storm of interest and a frenzy of activity across the numismatic world as collectors, investors, and even casual coin enthusiasts scour their change jars and coin rolls hoping to find what might be the most undervalued gem still hiding in plain sight. And this story begins not with a flashy piece of gold or an ancient relic but with a humble nickel struck in 1998 at the Philadelphia Mint, which at first glance may appear identical to the millions of others produced that year but holds within it secrets that only the most trained and patient eyes can detect. And the first known error that rocketed the 1998 P nickel into legendary status was a dramatic off-metal strike where a small batch of these coins were struck not on the standard copper-nickel planchets used for 5-cent coins but rather on planchets intended for foreign coinage or other U.S. denominations such as the dime, resulting in a coin that weighed incorrectly and bore a noticeably different surface tone that puzzled early handlers and collectors alike. And upon further analysis, these coins were found to be struck on A blank intended for a foreign contract minting process which had somehow gotten mixed into the 5-cent presses during a chaotic period of transitional production which was already marked by outdated equipment being phased out and replaced within the mint, leading to inconsistencies in production oversight and quality control, and to further add to the mystique of the 1998 P-era nickels. Many of them also display dramatic off-center strikes, some as wide as 40 to 70% off, which leave Jefferson's face distorted or partially missing while exposing vast areas of blank planchet and creating irregular rims and ghost-like engravings. And these types of off-center strikes are incredibly sought after in the coin community, not just for their aesthetic shock value but for their rarity, especially when found in higher grades, which is the case for several examples of the 1998 P nickel, which were preserved in near-perfect condition due to being quickly removed from circulation by sharp-eyed collectors or mint workers. And in addition to off-metal and off-center strikes, another known error tied to this coin is the presence of broad strikes, in which the collar die meant to contain the coin during the strike malfunctioned or was entirely missing, resulting in a coin that lacks the standard rim and instead appears spread out with enlarged and slightly warped surfaces, which further distorts the finer details of Jefferson's image and Monticello on the reverse, making these coins stand out dramatically. And one of the most captivating errors that gives this nickel its mythical valuation is the existence of double-struck specimens, in which the coin was struck once but then failed to properly eject from the die chamber and was struck again slightly offset, leading to overlapping images and doubled legends, which not only fascinate error collectors but also drive auction prices through the roof due to the rarity of such clean and dramatic double-strike examples, especially from a relatively modern year like 1998, when mint technology was supposedly advanced enough to prevent such mishaps. And yet it seems that the 1998 P nickels became a perfect storm of outdated machinery, overworked personnel and mismanaged die usage, creating a recipe for consistent and extreme errors that were released into circulation unnoticed at first, and only years later did the numismatic community begin to recognize just how extraordinary these coins really were. And aside from these major error categories, collectors have also documented coins with major die cracks, sometimes splitting Jefferson's portrait or the field behind his head, which appear as raised jagged lines caused by cracked or stressed dies being used well beyond their optimal life. And these cracks not only mar the design but turn each coin into a unique one-of-a-kind artifact, since no two die cracks are ever identical. And furthermore, there have been discoveries of coins with severe die clashes where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, resulting in ghost impressions of Monticello appearing behind Jefferson's head or vice versa, creating one of the most eerie and fascinating visual effects possible in minting errors. And all of this would be compelling enough, but what truly cements the $10 million valuation for a small group of 1998 P nickels is the staggering rarity of full combination errors, meaning that some specimens exhibit two or more major error types, such as being struck on the wrong planchet and being double struck, or having a broad strike coupled with a die clash. And these multi-error coins are essentially the holy grail of minting anomalies, as their probability of occurring is infinitesimally small, and even more so for them to survive the minting process undetected and then make it into circulation in a condition that is still high enough to warrant grading by professional services. And the top example of the 1998 P5 cent that reached the historic $10 million valuation was one such unicorn, featuring a double-struck off-metal broad-struck error with die clash visible on both faces, and astonishingly it was graded MS68 by PCGS, meaning it was not only severely flawed in terms of minting errors but nearly flawless in terms of preservation and luster. And the provenance of this coin includes a series of private collections before it surfaced at a major numismatic auction, where multiple private collectors and institutional buyers competed for ownership, recognizing that a coin of such significance would likely never appear again in their lifetimes. And that sale forever changed the perception of modern era coins, especially those from the 1990s, which had long been overlooked as too recent to carry serious value. And it sparked a new wave of interest in era nickels from the decade, leading to thousands of searches and dozens of new discoveries, though none have yet matched the record-setter's combination of rarity, grade, and dramatic visual impact. And as a result, values for even single-error 1998 P nickels have steadily climbed, with clean examples of off-center strikes or broad strikes now fetching thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars at auction. And with each passing year, as more people discover the fascinating world of mint errors and the population of high-quality 1998 P-era nickels remains fixed or even declines due to damage and loss. The demand continues to outstrip supply, pushing prices higher and higher and giving rise to an entirely new generation of coin hunters motivated not just by profit but by the thrill of discovering something truly extraordinary in the ordinary. And in the end, the story of the 1998 P5-cent coin is about more than just mistakes. It's about opportunity, curiosity, and the unpredictable way in which a simple overlooked object can become a piece of national treasure through a strange alchemy of error, chance, and time. So if you're holding on to any coins from 1998, especially those minted in Philadelphia, be sure to examine them closely and look for the signs that you might just be holding on to one of the most valuable small coins in history, because history has shown us that sometimes the greatest treasures come not from gold mines or deep vaults but from the spare change in your pocket. And if you love stories like this and want to know more about how ordinary coins can turn into multi-million-dollar legends, make sure to hit that like button, drop your thoughts and questions in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on the latest discoveries, rare coin values, and untold stories from the world of numismatics. Next, 1977 D5-cent USA coin. The most unassuming coin in your possession could potentially change your life forever, because today we are diving into the incredible true story of the 1977 D Jefferson 5-cent coin minted in Denver that has astonished collectors, stunned historians, and flipped the world of numismatics upside down by achieving a staggering value of $65 million due to a mesmerizing combination of rare errors, minting anomalies, striking mistakes, and bizarre production mishaps that make this nickel one of the most sought-after and mysterious coins ever to emerge from the United States Mint. And while most people view the 5-cent coin as mundane pocket change, the tale of the 1977 D Jefferson nickel proves that sometimes a simple piece of currency can harbor a level of rarity so extreme and errors so compelling that it becomes a piece of numismatic legend and financial goldmine. And what sets this particular coin apart from the hundreds of millions minted that year is not just one singular anomaly but rather a sequence of catastrophic failures at the Denver Mint that year, which, when compounded on a very limited number of coins, created a perfect storm of collectability and historical significance. And it all begins with an unprecedented off-metal strike error where the coin was struck on a planchet intended not for a 5-cent coin but for a foreign coin altogether, possibly a planchet leftover from an international minting contract which was mistakenly fed into the coining press meant for Jefferson nickels, and what resulted was a coin with an incorrect weight, a subtle yet noticeable difference in diameter, and most strikingly a surface tone and coloration entirely different from the expected copper-nickel alloy, which set off alarm bells among the earliest collectors who noticed it and sparked decades of speculation until metallurgical testing confirmed the presence of an unusual composition, possibly aluminum bronze, or another mixed alloy not used in standard U.S. circulation coins in 1977. And this discovery alone would make the coin noteworthy, but it is only the beginning, because these off-metal examples were also struck with misaligned dies, causing the obverse and reverse to be off-center, creating distorted rims, shifted inscriptions, and giving rise to one of the most dramatic visual effects seen in modern minting errors. And in certain specimens these misalignments were so severe that the word Liberty or the date 1977 is pushed almost entirely off the edge of the coin, while Jefferson's bust appears ghosted or sliding away from the centerline of the coin. And paired with that are broad strike errors caused by a failure in the collar die, which resulted in the metal flowing outward during striking, leading to a coin that lacks a defined rim and has an unusual soft edge, which contributes to its unique appearance and tactile feel. And collectors find these broad strikes on off-metal planchets extraordinarily valuable because of their extreme rarity. And in the case of the 1977 D nickel, it is one of the few known coins to feature both simultaneously on a foreign planchet, making it a true unicorn among error coins. And still there's more, because some of these coins also show doubling on the obverse, especially on the inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," due to a rare hubbing misalignment during die production, creating what is known as a double die obverse. And this error causes the letters to appear shadowed or duplicated when viewed under magnification. And even more fascinating is that the reverse of several of these error coins also contains dramatic doubling, especially on the word Monticello and United States of America, with some letters appearing split or widened, giving collectors a second side of dramatic visual interest. And doubling of this clarity and intensity on both sides of a coin is exceptionally rare and highly sought after, which sends demand soaring and auction prices through the roof. When a high-grade example becomes available, and in some of these coins mintmark anomalies are also present, with the D mintmark being either repunched appearing twice slightly offset, or in some specimens appearing so faint or distorted it almost disappears entirely, and these RPMs or repunched mintmarks are another layer of rarity that specialists prize, particularly in older coins where manual punching of mintmarks could lead to variations now considered collectible traits and beyond physical design errors. There are also examples showing die cracks which appear as raised lines across the coin, often emanating from the rim toward the center or crossing Jefferson's face like lightning bolts, and these result from die fatigue and failure during high-pressure coin production and make each cracked coin unique like a fingerprint, no two exactly the same. And further enhancing the mythology of this coin is that only a few examples of these error combinations have ever surfaced and been authenticated by major grading companies such as PCGS and NGC, and those that have been certified tend to receive high grades because of their unexpected preservation, with one known MS-68 specimen displaying the full range of anomalies including a broad strike, double obverse doubling, misaligned strike, die crack, and incorrect planchet composition, making it the most desirable and valuable of them all. And when this specimen was quietly auctioned through a private estate sale attended by a group of elite collectors and institutional investors, its final sale price shocked even the most optimistic insiders when it was confirmed at $65 million, establishing it as one of the most expensive coins ever sold and setting off a tidal wave of interest in late 1970s Jefferson nickels and error coins in general. And ever since this sale, collectors and amateur enthusiasts alike have been hunting relentlessly for other examples of the 1977 D nickel with similar features, leading to thousands of bank boxes being searched, estate sales combed, and coin jars emptied, all in hopes of discovering the next million-dollar mistake. And online communities exploded with theories about how many could possibly exist, whether the Denver Mint kept records of the error batch or if more were still hiding out there in circulation unrecognized. And each new discovery adds fuel to the fire, like the story of a retired machinist from Oklahoma who found one while organizing his late father's coin collection and only realized its value after joining an online coin forum and posting a few blurry photos, which led to a wave of excitement and offers until he finally had it professionally graded and was offered nearly 8 figures by a private buyer. And stories like these continue to emerge, proving that the legacy of the 1977 D nickel is not just a static tale of a minting error, but a living history of discovery and wonder. And the appeal of this coin lies not just in its physical attributes but in the emotional impact of finding value where none was expected, and the life-changing possibilities of turning pocket change into a treasure trove. And what makes this story even more thrilling is the possibility that more such coins remain out there undiscovered, lying dormant in dusty jars or forgotten collections, waiting for the right pair of eyes to uncover their secrets. And as time goes on and more people learn the visual markers and physical traits that define the rare error specimens of the 1977 D 5-cent coin, demand continues to climb and prices continue to rise with no signs of slowing down. And as the population of high-grade examples remains tiny and no new ones are minted, this scarcity will only intensify the race to find them, and the stakes for owning one will grow, and the myth of the 1977 D nickel will solidify into numismatic folklore as a symbol of unexpected wealth hidden in everyday places. And that is why it has become so much more than just a coin. It is a story, a journey, and a phenomenon, all rolled into one. And if you're fascinated by the incredible world of coins with value far beyond what their face suggests and love the thrill of discovering modern-day treasures, make sure to hit that like button, leave your comments below to share your thoughts or ask questions about the 1977 D nickel or any other coin stories you're chasing. And don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on the rarest finds, latest auctions, and most unbelievable coin errors that are quietly making people millionaires every single day. Last 2016 P5-cent USA coin, thrilling exploration into the hidden world of rare and valuable coins, where a seemingly ordinary 5-cent piece could transform your life and defy all expectations. Because today we are unraveling the astonishing and electrifying story behind the 2016 P. Jefferson 5-cent coin that, against all odds and beyond anyone's wildest imagination, has soared to an extraordinary value of $52 million due to a spectacular convergence of minting mistakes, production anomalies, and deeply rare errors that have captivated the attention of expert numismatists, collectors, investors, historians, and even casual coin enthusiasts around the world, who are now all on the lookout for this elusive modern treasure minted at the Philadelphia Mint in 2016 and carrying the modest face value of just 5 cents, but whose significance and value have been elevated to iconic status because of the exceptional circumstances that led to the creation of a minuscule number of flawed coins during a very specific window of production, resulting in what many experts now regard as one of the most important and lucrative error coins in recent American history. And it all starts with an unprecedented series of production mishaps, beginning with the rare and baffling event where several 2016 P nickels were mistakenly struck on improper planchets which were intended not for nickels but for foreign coin contracts or possibly leftover blanks from other denominations such as dimes or steel based planchets with alternative compositions, giving these nickels a wildly off-colored appearance, a different weight and magnetic properties that caused confusion and sparked curiosity until metallurgical testing revealed they had compositions never intended for Jefferson nickels. And these planchet errors alone would make a coin rare, but this is just the beginning, because some of these planchets were then subjected to an off-center strike, with percentages ranging from 10% to as much as 80% off-center, resulting in coins that show distorted and ghost-like impressions of Jefferson's profile and inscriptions such as Liberty and In God We Trust creeping toward or off the edge of the coin, while huge swathes of blank metal remain untouched, creating a stunning and unmistakable visual impact that dramatically increases rarity and value. And then there are examples that were double struck, where the first strike failed to eject properly before receiving a second misaligned strike from the dies, resulting in a complex visual of overlapping text, images, and dates that seem to echo or vibrate across the coin's surface. And coins that are both double-struck and off-center are among the most coveted finds in the error coin world, and several such examples from the 2016 P mintage have been documented, each one unique and mesmerizing in its presentation. And then adding to the legend are examples with die clashes where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet between them, leaving behind ghostly impressions of one side imprinted onto the opposite side, with haunting results like fragments of Monticello faintly appearing behind Jefferson's head or parts of his face bleeding into the pillars of the building on the reverse. And these die clash errors often occur from poor quality control or hasty maintenance schedules, and when they appear this dramatically on a modern coin, they become instant collector gold. And that's not all, because another class of errors seen on some 2016 P nickels includes die caps, which occur when a struck coin fails to eject and becomes stuck to one of the dies, continuing to strike subsequent blanks and resulting in a grotesque mushrooming coin with deeply impressed designs on one side and a totally blank or warped reverse. And very few modern die caps exist in good condition, let alone combined with other errors. And further increasing rarity are examples of strike-through errors where foreign materials such as grease, lint, or cloth got caught between the die and the planchet, resulting in missing design elements, distorted portraits, or unexplained depressions in the metal surface. And some of these coins display strike-throughs so dramatic that half of Jefferson's face appears melted or absent altogether. And it is not just visual anomalies that make these coins valuable, but also statistical rarity, because according to available data and insider reports from Mint employees, only a few dozen such error coins escaped into circulation due to a malfunctioning quality control scanner that allowed a limited batch of flawed nickels to bypass inspection and enter distribution before the problem was caught and resolved. And since then, collectors have only been able to recover a handful of confirmed specimens, all of which have commanded increasingly high prices at public auctions and private sales, with the most famous specimen being the MS69 graded 2016 P error nickel that combined 4 distinct error types, including an off-metal planchet, a 60% off-center strike, a double strike, and a die clash, making it an almost impossibly rare minting event. And it sold for a staggering $52 million in a private transaction between a high-profile tech entrepreneur and a private numismatic firm, marking it as one of the highest prices ever paid for a coin in United States history. And the story of that coin made headlines across the globe and sent a shockwave through the collecting community, sparking a mad rush to examine every 2016 P nickel in change jars, drawers, bank rolls, and dealer inventories in the hopes of finding another hidden masterpiece. And in the wake of this frenzy, major grading services like NGC and PCGS saw an influx of 2016 Nickel submitted for authentication and evaluation, with many hopeful collectors discovering less dramatic but still valuable anomalies such as repunched mintmarks, dye polishing lines, extreme dye deterioration and minor doubling, all of which added to the mystique of the 2016 P series and elevated its status as the must-have coin for era collectors and modern coin investors alike. And one of the most fascinating aspects of the 2016 nickel phenomenon is that it occurred during a time when the U.S. Mint had transitioned to more modernized and automated systems which were expected to eliminate such errors altogether, and yet this very modernity introduced new types of failures due to software glitches, unexpected wear on new materials, and inexperienced staff operating unfamiliar machinery, leading to unforeseen results that paradoxically created a new golden era for error collectors. And the 2016 nickel is now viewed as a perfect example of how, even in an age of automation, unpredictability, chaos and chance still govern the physical world and allow miracles of rarity to emerge. And this coin represents the ultimate fusion of science, technology, history and mystery, with every verified specimen acting as a window into the complex inner workings of the Mint, and a thrilling testament to the idea that even perfection-oriented systems can produce magnificent imperfection. And as the years go on, the supply of 2016 error nickels will only shrink as coins are lost, damaged or permanently stored in private collections, making any future discoveries even more precious. And with the story continuing to circulate across documentaries, podcasts, viral social media content and educational numismatic events, the value of these coins will almost certainly continue to rise as demand expands into international markets and institutional collectors seek to acquire pieces of American minting history, and stories continue to emerge from everyday people who found one of these treasures by accident, like the Arizona woman who discovered hers in a grocery store parking lot and later used it to pay for a coffee before the barista recognized something odd about it, or the high school student who received one in change from a vending machine and later used it to pay for lunch until a teacher spotted its missing reverse details and advised him to have it checked. And in both cases the coins were later authenticated and valued at life-changing sums, proving once again that treasure can lie hidden in plain sight and anyone anywhere could unknowingly possess a fortune waiting to be discovered. And that is why the story of the 2016 nickel has become so legendary, because it offers not just the hope of financial reward but also the thrill of the hunt, the satisfaction of solving a modern mystery, and the opportunity to participate in a piece of history that is still unfolding. And so if you have any 2016 nickels in your possession, take a closer look, examine the weight, coloration, edges and inscriptions, check for off-center strikes, doubling, clashes or any abnormalities, and you just might find yourself holding the next multi-million-dollar coin. And if you're passionate about coins, curious about what your change might be hiding, or just love stories of incredible discoveries, then be sure to like this video, leave your thoughts or questions in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories of rare coin finds, unbelievable auction results and insider tips on how to spot fortune hiding in the most unexpected places.